everyone, and welcome back to Pima Voices. My name is Savannah, and I'll be your host. Today, I'm sitting down with Bernal Morales, and she is the Vice President at Arizona Technology Council. And today, we're going to be exploring the world of technology. So, hi, Karla. How are you today?
Hi, thank you, Savannah. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm doing fantastic.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and sitting down and having this conversation with me today. I know today is a special day because it's Arizona's birthday. It's Valentine's Day, which I think is so lovely because I really love Arizona. I'm sure you really love Arizona.
I do. I really do.
And so, for those who don't know who Karla is, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself so we can have the audience get to know you a little bit better?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share a little bit more about myself. I always like to go back to the beginning because it says a lot about my salient identities. I was born in Nogales, Sonora, Mexico, from my parents, Jesus and Kathy Bernal. I have an older brother and a younger sister who both live here in Tucson. I came to the U.S. when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I came to Tucson in about 1988, and I attended Mansfield Middle School. I then went to Tucson High School, then transferred over to Pima Community College, and then to the U of A, where I received both my undergrad and my grad. While that sounds so incredibly linear, that was not exactly how it happened. I am a mother of 5 kids, ranging from 29 years old to 12 years old. I'm a wife of a police officer, and I currently serve as the vice president of the Arizona Technology Council, and I also have the great honor and privilege of serving on the governing board of Pima Community College, representing the constituents in District 5. When I said about the linear comment, I say that because it's important to recognize for me and for me to share with others that I was not your traditional college student. I intended, that was the plan. But life happened, and I ended up getting pregnant with my oldest son. And so I had to take an academic pause and go and actually get a job to be able to raise my son. I had my second son, but throughout that whole process, I still continued taking classes in the evenings at Pima Community College. And I did not receive my undergrad until 2016, I think it was. Yeah, 2016. And I didn't get my master's until 2022. So when I think about education and the role that education in the college and the university had in my life, I always say that it was part of the journey, part of the experience, because it was not linear. They were with me through some of the most demanding and challenging times of my life, but they were always there. They were always constant. Education was always constant for me.
Well, you sound really resilient, first of all. And you know what's great about that is Pima Community College in general is a path for people who maybe education isn't linear. And I think that's okay that education isn't linear. I wasn't planning to come to college. Like, I didn't have guidance exactly. When I was little, I was like, I'm going to go to a 4-year university. Like, I was the type of kid who was like, yes, I love school. I love it. And then senior year high school came, and I was like, well, no one really talked to me about like next steps, what I'm going to do. And so I just like applied last minute to Pima. I'm 30 years old going back to school at the U of A, getting my undergrad. And so it's different for everyone, and that's totally okay. And that's great. Education is constantly changing. It's evolving. You're always continuing to learn. I don't think learning ever really stops. And, you're a really great example of that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I really appreciate the fact that you mentioned that nobody told you about that because I think people have often heard me say that I was a DACA student before DACA was even created. When I was at Tucson High, I had no idea what I was going to do next because I didn't have the privilege of having my next step scheduled or set up already. I am a first-generation college student, and I had the great opportunity and honor that one of my high school teachers decided to create a scholarship to support my progression of my academic career. And she created a scholarship that allowed for it to pay for summer school, that summer bridge program that Pima Community College offers, and then my first semester in the fall. And luckily for me, just the luck of the draw, my immigration status got approved. I was able to get a job and pay for the next semester. And then I was able to learn all about what it takes to continue my education, get the support and resources like a Pell Grant, scholarships within the college. And so, absolutely, having that access, having that resource that the college offers, it's crucial, it's critical in order to ensure that our students are successful. And I had that privilege. I was very fortunate to have the support and the caring of my high school teacher. But again, along the way, being a first generation college student, it's not an easy task, right?
No, yeah, it definitely is not. And I know a lot of that has like changed over time. There's a little bit more information, more access, more just like knowledge being kind of passed on. And, I always said like when I was growing up, like I love school so much because some of the times it's like you get that teacher that really like believes in you and they just like make such an impact. Like I can remember some of my high school, middle school, elementary school teachers that I just like truly adored, and that's why I really liked going to school. Was like it was like a safe space. It was my happy place. I loved the teachers, and like sometimes you do really just get that really great teacher that believes in you. And we're like really jumping the gun here, but like
Yeah.
I always have like like experience. I talk about that at Pima where I had like a really special connection with Nancy Spalding, who she just recently retired after 17 years at the college. She was an instructor in the fashion design program who just like really truly believed in me and like students, and we still talk and connect to this day. And she helped me get the job within the fashion program, and then she actually helped me get this job here with the foundation. And so it's just so amazing to see like no matter what timeline that is, there's always going to be someone within education who like believes in their students. And like yeah, you just have like a really great story about
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate that. And I congratulate the teachers that were involved in your journey, in your career, because I think you're right, that's so important. And it's important that we talk about it because let's be honest, teachers don't get paid a lot of money. And educators, I should say, don't get paid a lot of money. And I think that if you go into education is because you are impact driven, because you are passionate about helping others. And so it's important for us to showcase and highlight those educators that played a big, pivotal part in our roles and pivotal role, I'm sorry, in our career. So it's important that we recognize them publicly. Thank you for doing that, Yasmin.
Yeah, no, thank you. And I really, really agree. Like, education is a really powerful tool, and having those educators is just really powerful. But let's backtrack a little. We got like so like we had moments here that was really great. And I love everything that you just shared because it can apply to so many different people within our community. But um tell me a little bit more about Arizona Technology Council. That is a company that's a little bit new to me that I'm not familiar with. And so, can you give us a little bit background on that?
Absolutely. So, the Arizona Technology Council is Arizona's premier trade association for science and technology enterprises. We work across the state, and we've been in effect for over 20 years. And while you just mentioned that you hadn't heard of us, I think a lot of the times because we do so many collaborations with so many organizations, people are not always aware that foundationally it's the Arizona Technology Council that is the driver. But we work predominantly to help our member companies connect and grow. We work with large brand name companies that you may be familiar with, like IBM or Google or Raytheon or Intel or Meta or Amazon, wide range. But we also work a great deal with startups and entrepreneurs that are just kicking off and that are just taking their businesses to the next level. And what we do is we support them, what I would say in my own words, under three different pillars. And one of them being public policy. We take a great deal of pride that we are the face and the voice of our member companies across the state and across the nation. We connect with our three different levels of legislation and take the time to get to know our legislators so that we're able to have that relationship with them and let them know and inform them of the many issues involving and affecting the tech sector community. We work with our local Pima County, City of Tucson, state legislators, and as well as our nation's legislators. We go all the way to DC. We really want to take the lead in being the voice, like I said earlier, and again sharing the things that impact us. And the issues that impact the tech sector are not just R&D tax credits. They're not just importing and exporting. They range from workforce development to diversity, equity, and inclusion to just the ethics behind artificial intelligence. It is so wide ranging. So we want to make sure that we hear from our members and that we are the bridge that connects them to the policymakers and the decision makers. Like I said, at the three different levels of legislation. The other pillar that we support our member companies with is with our events. We are well known across the state for being the organization that puts amazing events together, and they range from educational forums to webinars to podcasts to very large conferences. Our largest conference here in Southern Arizona is the Tech and Business Expo that happens every year in October, but we have also the Aerospace, Aviation, and Defense and Manufacturing Conference. We are now having an inaugural artificial intelligence conference that's happening in March. We have a MedTech conference. We have a cybersecurity conference. So we have all of these different events that provide us setting in a platform for people to be knowledgeable and connected to the tech sector. We also have After 5 networking events where we showcase the innovation that's happening in our backyard. And lastly, the third pillar, because I could go on for another 2 hours talking about the Tech Council, but the last pillar that I would say is that we really want to focus on growing our member companies. 80% of our member companies are small to medium-sized companies that have anywhere from 2 employees to 50 employees. We negotiate reduced costs for goods and services. So we have an associated health plan with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona. We have a 401k plan that we offer our members through UBS and Empower, and we have a myriad of services, whether it's law, real estate, communications, printing, just a wide range of associate members that provide a reduced cost to our member companies so that they can focus their energy and their money on making their business more connected, more involved, growing their workforce, investing in professional development or research development for their companies. So what we want to be is the end-all be-all to the member companies so that they're able to connect and grow their organizations, grow their individuals, and grow the region of the tech sector so that we are known as the tech hub of the nation.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you were right. You really are like the driving force behind a lot that goes on within Arizona and beyond. That's wow. I'm all like taking it all in right now. And so, I think that's really important too, because, the tech sector, is like really growing right now. Like technology is really advancing. It's really innovating, especially with AI, Meta and things like that. And so do you also think like with your role and with the Arizona Technology Council, so I like wrote this down because I thought it was, and you kind of said it too. It's like the driving force behind making the Grand Canyon State the fastest growing technology hub in the nation, connecting and empowering Arizona's community of innovation. I really like that. Like that sentence. And I think everything you said is really kind of like within that sentence as well. And so do you think your role at the Tech Council and that company's organization and their mission, do you think that really helps as well with like why you wanted your seat on the governing board and like what you see envisioned for the future of Pima Community College?
Thank you again for highlighting the Arizona Technology Council's mission to make Arizona the leading tech hub of the nation. Yeah, I see an incredible value in fostering the connections and empowering innovations across the industries. Absolutely, my role here aligns with the vision for Pima Community College. I believe that the college plays a critical role in shaping the future of our local workforce, and particularly in the technology-driven fields, bridging technology and education. And this way we can ensure that Pima Community College students not only meet the needs of today's economy, but also drive the future of Arizona's innovation. The collaboration and leadership opportunities between the council and the college really provide an insightful connections and that I would love to bring to the Pima Community College Board, and I would love to help strengthening its impact and the positioning of the state's growth in the technology hub.
So you mentioned the collaboration between the college, and so how do you see that, like with your board seat? what is like one goal that you really are trying to put forth as your new role at District 5, right? Congratulations that as well.
Thank
And
you.
also congratulations for vice chair on the governing board too.
Thank you.
So what is something that you think collaborative wise, a goal that you can kind of stick together that you see that kind of will help propel your vision and your goal and the whole technology hub within the college in Tucson and beyond?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the one thing that for me stands out is that our missions are very much aligned. The Technology Council's missions to help our member companies connect and grow. They can't connect and grow if they don't have a prepared workforce. And as you know, Pima Community College has done extensive work to advance areas in advanced manufacturing and aviation and in aerospace. The cybersecurity work that we're doing at the East Campus is there's no other place in the state that's doing that.
Yeah, I love that center. They do so many great things at the cyber warfare range. Will and Chris and Jim, they do such an amazing job there with their whole team. I think that is like a really good secret that Pima has that more people should know about because they are really doing amazing things there.
Absolutely. From advanced manufacturing to aerospace, healthcare, and cybersecurity. Honestly, Pima Community College is equipping students with the skills that they need to be successful in these very high demand jobs and fields while still meeting the region's needs. The college's emphasis on accessibility and diversity ensures that everyone in our community has an opportunity to thrive and contribute to the area's growth. The work that we're doing in optics and photonics is being recognized not just across the state, but across the nation and across the world. We have such amazing innovators and researchers that are really making Arizona, and specifically Southern Arizona, a significant marker on the map of the work that we're doing in optics and photonics. Aerospace is the same thing. And again, Pima Community College plays a big role in creating those programs, creating those career paths, and creating the opportunities to have a strong workforce in those fields.
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time. I feel like I'm like a broken record, just like repeat, repeat, repeat. But it's just such a true thing to say. And like Pima really has just like really grown in advance and they really have progressed like the innovation in technology and in education and I love the direction that the college is going and I love like how you mentioned like Southern Arizona is really just like on a bunch of people's radar and it's not just, there's different aspects, not just Pima Community College, but other areas within Southern Arizona, excuse me. And so I think that's like one of the amazing things that makes Arizona as a whole so beautiful is there's so much to see here. There's so much education. There's so many businesses to connect with. That's really kind of just driving the nation as a whole. But talking again about the college and stuff, is there anything that you wanted to say before we end our session today about the college, your vision, anything that you would like to add?
I think, first of all, I want to say thank you to my constituents and to my community for trusting me. And I want to make sure that I clearly stated that this is literally a privilege. It is a privilege to be at the seat, to be with a group of people that are going to be the decision makers that will be the representatives for our students. And that's incredibly important to me. One of the aspects I'm particularly proud of PCC is the ability to anticipate the needs of Southern Arizona. And I look forward to working with the board, working with our chancellor, and continuing the initiatives like the Centers of Excellence programs and the partnerships with organizations like the Arizona Technology Council and many others, and with the local businesses to ensure that the students are not only graduating with degrees, but are also workforce ready, driving that economic growth. We approach this in a collaborative approach. We need to be connected to industry members, to the companies that are going to need that workforce. I want to hear from them. I want to hear the type of jobs that we need to be creating, the types of careers that our students will need to be focused on. And I really also want to focus on not just creating jobs, but creating thriving jobs. Because once you have a thriving job, you're able to create that generational impact, whether it's to have a job that provides for your family, but also creates the savings and creates that opportunity for the next generation to go to college, go to university, go to a particular field, focus on the trades, whatever it is that your heart desires. that will be available through the partnerships and through the collaboration that the community college puts together. Additionally, Pima Community College's commitment to sustainability and community engagement is super important to me. I know that the one thing I mentioned to you earlier was that I was able to go to college because one of my high school teachers created that scholarship for me. I don't forget that, and I don't take that lightly. Creating access to our students, traditional or non-traditional, is incredibly important. So I do urge for anybody that's listening, for anybody that you know that you can share the mission of the college with, please help us be part of the team. Hold us accountable, not just us as the board of directors, but us as community members. Hold us accountable so that we're able to lift the entire region and create those opportunities and that access for anybody that wants to be part of the college.
You have said it so beautifully. And I love how you mentioned just like, being on the board, you're working with people to make decisions for students, for the community, and how you saying that, when they come to the college to get an education, it's creating a whole thriving economy, a whole thriving community. It starts there, it continues to grow. And that's one of the things that's always said and mentioned on the podcast. And when we talk to people in person, whether it's on an event, on here, it starts here. And people who come to the college, they usually they stay in Tucson, first of all, and it creates that whole thriving economy in that community. And so I am really excited to see you thrive on your seat within the governing board. And I love your mission. I love how, education to you is something that's very important. It's not something, like you said, you don't take lightly. Education is something that should be accessible to traditional and non-traditional students. I think we kind of forget sometimes, like you said, like education isn't linear. Like we talked about that. You have students who are non-traditional students, which the college is a great stepping stone or even just starting point for people. And I think you have a lot of great ideas. You speak from the heart, which I think is also very important. And you seem very community focused. And I think your role at Arizona Technology Council works really well with the college and that vision of collaboration. And I just can't wait to see and hear more of what you want to do and the decisions that hopefully you can make for even greater change in the future. So
Thank you so much for that. And I really do appreciate the opportunity. I'm very fortunate to serve with an amazing board of directors and board of governors. I'm sorry. They are all fantastic individuals. They are all professionals, and I'm excited to see how we support our chancellor and how we support our community college. Thank you again for the invitation, and I appreciate it. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say it. Happy birthday, Arizona.
Yes, happy birthday, Arizona. That is so true. I'm lucky to be in this state and to meet all these new people all the time. But thank you again for coming on. Like I said, I loved hearing your message, your vision, learning more about Arizona Technology Council, how much it actually is really, like you said, a driving force within the tech sector within Southern Arizona and beyond. And it was really lovely having you here today. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you. And to everyone watching, thank you for tuning in to today's episode. And I will see you next week for a brand new episode of Pima Voices. So until then, I'll see you next time. Thank you.